Hello everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your What's Cracking reading for, where are we? Monday the 20th of January. I feel like I've hardly been on at all of late, and I do miss being here, but with moving house and getting all organised and everything, it's been a little bit challenging, so I've missed the weeklies the last couple of weeks. But this weekend coming, I'll be back on board and somewhere or another looking for a new property. So I think a lot of people are moving at the moment, which is pretty awesome. Things are happening. I also probably need to start organising some dates and things for you guys, so all on the drawing board. So let's get on with what's cracking this morning. I want to say thank you to you all too for supporting me through this. I get some beautiful messages. I know you guys understand that I have a life behind what I do. And this weekend I got a little behind on the personal readings as well. So if you're waiting on one, I may be a day late, but I'll try and stay on time for you. Oh, Ten of Swords jumping out here. Ending cycles, people. I know for one, I've had some tremendous dreams and some big epiphanies this last couple of weeks, so I think everybody's going through much the same. All right. Okie dokie, so we have the Emperor coming out here. So the Emperor is the card of Aries. So you could be dealing with an Aries at the moment, but the Emperor is a person who is, we say, at the top of their game. They're sort of a culmination of all four kings. They're very worldly, very well educated, very knowledgeable. At his worst, he can be very controlling and a little bit sort of bossy. And I always think, well, people in this position have had the right perhaps to push others round. But it can represent someone who is who has authority, father figure, can be a counsellor or someone. Could also be someone who's in a position of, something legal, the law here. Behind that, I do have the Hermit. So this, of course, is the card of Virgo. The Hermit talks about going inside and finding your inner peace, finding what makes you tick. Looking for how you want to move forward, really sort of self-investigation, going well and truly inside yourself. For some of you, it looks as though you want to move away from someone, and you may have been seeing this person for advice here, but you look as though you're moving away from some sort of heartbreak or pain here. It could be for some of you, this is just generally in your life, moving towards better times, and seeking some sort of, you got the wish card here, seeking some sort of advice from someone. Perhaps something is really creating a lot of pain in your life. Perhaps you're going through, could be a breakup, could be some sort of conflict here. I feel that you're seeking some support here from somebody, whether that's somebody in your family, a friend who knows you well. What I want to say to you here, though, the Nine of Cups is coming up here, which says to me whatever you're going through is nearing the end. So this is a great resolution and some sort of wishes coming true here. Okay, so if you've been waiting for some advice or waiting for news to come through, it is on its way. So whatever hurt and pain you've been going through, there is a resolution on its way that will bring a wish in. Okay, so I have the Nine of Wands coming out here. Nine of Wands is a beautiful card. It talks about being wounded. It talks about being wounded in a lot of different ways. So it's something that's been ongoing for you. It also talks about boundaries. It talks about setting healthy boundaries for yourself, but it also talks about not setting your boundaries so tight that you don't have opportunities or things coming your way. Oh, okay, so for some of you here, this could be about love. It could be a choice in love. It could be a situation that you're being offered here that you're thinking about or contemplating. With those cards up the front, it could be why you're seeking advice from, a friend or a family member. Maybe you've got an opportunity to move forward on something and you're not really sure whether you want to accept the offer. Okay, so we have the Death card. We have a lot of major arcanas coming up again in this reading. So very sort of auspicious time with Spirit really stepping in on some of your lives here at the moment to help you out. This is the card of Scorpio, and that's the card of Gemini. So you could be dealing with any of these people, but the Death card is about letting parts of yourself fall away that no longer serve you. It's transformation. Snake shedding its skin. And I feel perhaps here that you've been through a lot since perhaps from this situation. Perhaps this situation has transformed you, made you question things, made you look deep inside to see what you want. What is the resolution for this situation? What is it you want to see happen? Because with the Hermit and the Death card, that shows a lot of inner seeking, a lot of inner searching here. So it could just be for life in general. Interesting, we have the Magician coming out as well. So the Magician talks of us having all the tools that we need. So it's sort of like a card of being able to manifest the outcome you desire, bring in what you want here. So you must remember that ultimately this is your decision, perhaps even your responsibility to make that decision. So whether or not somebody else has caused some sort of disruption in your life or some sort of upset, you hold the key here into making this either work or saying goodbye to it. So, okay. There is an offer here. So I think this is what it's coming from. There seems to be somebody offering it sort of doesn't feel quite so much like an apology. It feels more like an answer, a resolution. So sometimes when things haven't gone a certain way and we have no understanding of why they've sort of gone off track or what's happened, whether this is in a relationship or whatever, sometimes we don't really understand what we did or what our part was for that. So for example, here's a good one. If someone's ghosted you and they haven't let you know what the problem was, I mean 99 times out of 100 it's their issue, not yours, because they haven't had the courage or the respect to speak out and say how they feel. But what happens is we start to question everything we're doing. So this is sort of, in its way, it can be quite hurtful, but in other ways it can be quite good for us because we start to understand ourselves better. What are our own insecurities around the being ghosted? Why aren't we able to just say, well, okay, that's their problem, not mine, and I'll move on? But we don't. We question ourselves when in fact it isn't anything to do with us. So it's sort of like we take on the other person's issues and problems. And I feel this is what you're casting off here and starting to realize. 6 of Cups here. So this is definitely something to do with something that's happened in the past. And it did create a lot of anxiety here with this 8 of Swords. Something that's kept you overthinking, overworking it. And there's the 10 of Swords that came out in the beginning. So you're coming to the end of this. There is no doubt about that whatsoever. And then we have another major arcana with the Temperance. Oh, and then we have a huge offer at the end here. Okay, this is really interesting. You're more than likely dealing with someone who could be an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. This could be a situation to do with work as well. I can't discount that. There are no cups in this reading at all. Yes, sorry, the 6 of Cups is here, which of course is the past. And there's a cup for the Magician, but very little love here. So whatever this situation is, you're leaving love out of the equation here. You're looking at this in a very practical, down-to-earth way. There's very little passion here. So you're taking all of the emotion out of this and you're treating it really strategically. I want to tell you that. There seems to be something from, obviously from the past here, that hurt you or broke your heart. You've been waiting perhaps to hear from someone about what's happened, and perhaps in that time you've spent a lot of time going inside trying to understand what happened, why it turned out the way it did. You could have sought information or some support with this because it was giving you a lot of grief. somebody is coming forward to offer answers here, but it's like you're taking this very almost planned approach to how you're going to do this. You want the answers. You want the answers because they've left you feeling very in a very sort of negative state and unsure of what happened here. So it could be that someone's offering you a brand new beginning. It could be someone's offering you an apology. But it's more likely that somebody's offering you some sort of explanation as to why they did what they did. Now, I feel this is really good because you've got your boundaries in place, which is fantastic, but you're not treating this with over emotion. So you're coming at this in a very well-ordered, strategic way, and you're trying to either make amends or get resolution by looking at this from a very practical perspective. This person wants to straighten things out, wants to bring there's Four of Wands here. So for some of you, this is about bringing stability back in. And we have the Judgment card coming in. So somebody could want a second chance here, may want to make resolution, but it's not, like an undying love. It's not an emotional situation. It's like, okay, I see where things have gone wrong. I'm, obviously been very hurt and very unhappy about what's gone on. But what I want to do is sit down with you and work out how we move forward from here. That's what it looks like. Like you're really thinking it out and you're doing it in a very strategic, positive way, and not allowing your emotions to cloud your judgment. I'll get an oracle card for you. Definitely going to bring in a lot more stability. So whatever it is, it's going to help you close down this negative thinking that you've been having, this stress, this unhappiness, and it's going to bring in this beautiful new start for you. The card you've got out here is Go the Distance. So I'm just going to read. I've got my camera around the wrong way today, so it's quite interesting. I've challenged myself completely. My brain is really working hard to work out why I did it that way, but 47, beautiful. This is about endurance, strength, and the long haul. So that's what I mean. I think this is so you can sort things out so that you can move forward here without having all the stress and emotion that you've been feeling. So to bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there's no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength and fortitude to carry you all of the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. And perhaps it is for some of you some sort of love situation, but whatever's happening here, you're going to sort it out in a very adult way. And I feel like something's happened that was perhaps very childish and very overly emotional. So now you're sort of moving those out of the equation and saying, let's be adults here, let's sit down and talk this through. Have a wonderful Monday.